Welcome back. Let's quickly go to Niger. Last time we were here, we were talking about the Flying Eagles facing an uphill task against the hosts of the CAF Under-20 African Cup of Nations. And I personally thought it was going to be difficult. But the guys, they proved me wrong. They did the job, crossed the line, and won the game. Cecilia was confident. I give her that. So she was confident. But let's allow you to see that game. This is the first time we're having the show after that game was played. So we think it's only fitting that we allow you enjoy highlights from that game to see how the Flying Eagles of Nigeria booked their place at the FIFA Under-20 World Cup in Poland with that 1-0 victory over Niger Republic.
Well, when the start of the match came, it was Nigeria that looked to hit the front early, and Khaled was the hero during the first period. Brilliant save there. Nigeria knowing they were in a strong position to qualify from the group. But Khaled was sharp and decisive, making sure Niger kept a clean sheet. The hosts themselves struggled for opportunities. Kairu blocked his path before Mahamadou high over the bar. In the second half, Nigeria had their chances. Khaled again, this time denying Camille from the corner kick. But it was from another set piece that the young keeper, who'd otherwise been spotless, faultless, and unfortunately would leave him embarrassed, and Niger out. Al Hassan whipping it into the near post. The keeper caught out. Nigeria ahead. Niger, to their credit, didn't give up, and Issa headed wide when there was static Nigerian defending. In the end, a draw wouldn't have been enough for Niger, but they should have had it right at the death. But a draw wasn't coming. South Africa's win means Niger are out along with Burundi. And it's Nigeria who drop Group A, joined by South Africa, as Khaled suffers alone. Well, Niger have been fantastic hosts, but sadly their journey ends here. South Africa have been a surprise package with their troubles in preparation. Their first win of the tournament sees them second, and they join Nigeria in the semi-finals, as well as a place in Poland 2019 for the FIFA Under-20 World Cup.
All right, welcome back. It's mission accomplished for Paul Aigbogun and his boys, because they set out to pick the ticket for the FIFA Under-20 World Cup. And it's done, Cecilia, now. Absolutely. So no more pressure. No more pressure. They can play whatever happens. Pressure.
Come on, when you are in Nigeria, you're talking because you're a journalist. Now, for instance, we're a Nigerian, as a Nigerian, any championship that you see the team going out for,
to win.
The basic thing is win. Because if these guys, if they don't win, we'll forget all about them. We'll forget all the performance, everything, the good, how good they were, coming into this tournament. Because at the what stage? Let's be realistic. It's going to be difficult for us to win it. So the one realistic one is this one. We can actually win the African Championship, judging from the way they played. But when you still have Senegal in this team, so it's difficult.
Does it make any difference going to the World Cup? At senior level, it might, but at junior level, does it make any difference going to the World Cup as African champions? Does it?
Of course, it does. The bragging right, the confidence level, arriving there knowing that, okay, these are African champions, and some teams will definitely want to, how do I put it now? Just kind of be cautious. Wary, just knowing that, just some respect and all that. That's alone, it's something. Another thing is, the big thing is, these players will also get a chance, a look in, either from the national team or from some other clubs, because knowing that these are African champions, for them to be able to beat most of the teams here and coming to the World Cup, they may have some superstars in there. But if at the end of the day, in the semi-finals, they are out to get a ticket to the World Cup, the hype, the vibe and everything will all be gone. Right. I think the pressure will even be more now. They're in the semi-finals, or everyone will be expecting them to win.
Why not to win?
This is a championship that Nigeria have actually won seven times. So it's not going to be like anything new. But I think the least they will expect from the team is not grabbing a ticket. is actually winning the championship again. And I'm already predicting, I mean, Nigeria can actually go past Mali.
Okay.
We're going to meet Senegal in the final.
All right.
Come on, Senegal it's been hectic all this while. And knowing that anytime you meet Senegal, both at the beach soccer level, at any level, I mean, they just get the better of Nigeria. But this time around, I mean,
we should get our pound of
Nigeria
flesh.
And Senegal in the final. Nigeria
Okay.
can just nick it by a lone goal and, bring the trophy
listening
home.
to you, I cast my mind back to 2015, when very, very respected, should I use the word respected? A team that a lot was expected from went to the World Cup with a lot of, they were African champions, were they? Okay, I don't remember well now, but that team that had Ian Acho, Isaac Success, and we're already counting our chickens before it was asked, and they crashed out in the second round. So for me, I think the focus should be on how Paul Aigbogun can, see what he can do to improve this team. That's just it. If they win, victories are good.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't, at least we're in the FIFA Under-20 World Cup.
Okay.
That's where I said. But we'll see. We're not the coach. We're not the coach, so we just expect to see improvements, and that's all.
Let me ask you a question. When you were watching the game, I mean, after 17 minutes, there was no goal. I mean, then Al Hassan just came, got the free kick, and it was into the net, 73 minutes. Were you at a point really, I mean, how do I put it now? Your heart, what was the level?
Look, I was afraid for the boys. I mean, I must be honest, I was afraid for the boys because before this goal, the guys from Niger were in it.
Mm-hmm.
And the bitter experience of knowing that Niger had cost us qualifying for an age grade tournament recently, and that they are host. And that's why I give it to you that you were a lot more confident than I was, because it's like playing against the host, even though they are under more pressure than we are, because we needed a draw. But I mean, all they needed to do was to win. And so, yeah, at some point I was afraid. And the quality, there's some people are talking about the quality. No, it didn't matter to me. What mattered to me at that point, just qualify first. We can sort out whatever problems, we can sort it out. And that's why you could see that I'm a bit more relaxed. And what I'm saying is, look, if you win the AFCON, fine. If you don't, but the most important thing is look at how you can improve the squad.
I think for the good of the boys, they should win if they really want to be relevant in Nigerian football. Because, once you don't win this tournament, I'm not sure Gennett Rowe usually was in the camp watching some of the boys train and all that. Everyone has been talking about their goalkeeper. He's very tall, like 6'3", about 6 feet tall, and all that, how good he is. So if they crash it at this stage, I'm not sure anybody's going to be talking about them. Although they're still going to the World Cup, then how many games will they be able to play for everyone to actually see how good they are if they get into the World Cup? So what is important is just beat Mali and see how you can, whatever you can do to Senegal, because I don't see South Africans actually edging out the Senegalese, except something happen. If it happens, it's going to be a stunner. No disrespect to South Africans anyway.
All right. So we'll see what happens. Let's leave Nigeria Republic and come home. 7 matches we played on match day 8. That's very interesting. Let's take a look at the results from yesterday. 3 matches we played today, but let's start with the ones that were played. We'll talk through it. We even have our own game that will be focused today. But let's take a look at those results that I talked about. MFM, 2 goals down, came from that to defeat Niger Tornadoes. First time something like that is happening since, according to the LM League Management Company records, last time we had something like that was in 2015. I also had Eimba defeating Remo Stars 1-0, former player of MFM, Onua.
Getting that long goal, over them. I think Remo Stars put up a good performance, but somehow it just wasn't enough. Economy Warriors, of course, had to win at home against Abia Warriors. Kwara United and Wiki Torres Kwara winning by lone goal. Kano Pillars and Yobe Stars, that's another one, throwing a high-scoring game. Heartland and Ifeanyi, it ended 1-1. All
right, let's quickly take a look at what's going to happen today. Let's quickly see if we can give you that. The matches that we played today, we have it in Group A. You have Sunshine Stars taking on Casino United. That's in Group A. Let's quickly flip over to Group B. Let's see what's going to happen in that one. Some matches to be played in there as well. Gombe United taking on Nasarawa United. Akwa United taking on Kada City. Probably this will be another 3 points in the bag for them. Cecilia, let's quickly talk about the game in focus between United and Go Round. We have some interesting reactions from the manager, but did the results surprise you in any way?
No, not really. I mean, plus United, come on, they're playing, okay, they're away from home, but then normally it's their home court because Go Round had to travel all the way from Port Harcourt down here. And it was just that lone goal of victory. It was just enough for them. I love what the coach said, talking about the fact that, that's the assistant coach, talking about the fact that, look, they may be playing away from home. They understand they have to take this place as their own home and try to win their home matches. We know how difficult it is when you travel on the road. The players are a bit tired, you know, traveling that long distance and all that, having to come into a squad. But getting just that flick of a goal was just all they needed to get all their 3 points and move on the table. And if you check what the table is really looking like, they would say not too good for some of these big teams. You should be thinking they should be at the top of the table. But then it was what it is. At the end of the day, they got that 3 points and they just try as much as possible to move out. Let's hear from the coaches now talking about it. Why the coach of Go Round was really not kind of just hammering his players. I mean, slamming them, chicken-hearted and all that, for not putting up a good performance.
All right.
It's a good game. I think the opponent gave us a very good match. The opponent gave us a very good match. But as far as we are concerned, my boys played to instruction. That is why we are able to come out victorious in the game. Yeah, as we are vanished from Jos, we had to put more effort in playing our game home away from home. But as it is now, we thank God for the last match, which we won today. But it's for us to go to the drawing board and redouble our efforts in playing our subsequent matches at home.
You've seen it that we played a very good game, just that the chances refuse to come. And sometimes when you play with boys that are not chicken-hearted.
To be there, I mean, you feel pained, especially when you lose by a lone goal. And that's how he feels his boys were actually chicken-hearted. But then losing by lone goal is okay. What will you tell Chelsea players? We have Lawasile Shola in the studio here. Shola, good morning. It's good to have you.
Good morning, Cecilia.
How you doing?
Good morning. I'm fine. I'm okay.
It was your weekend.
Yeah, very nice.
You listen to both managers there, and in fact, before we even go to that, your take on the results this week. Any surprises for you, or we are now getting to that similar pattern where
what happened this weekend? We have only one drawn match, while other matches were won by home teams. MFM beating the 3-2, while Eyimba beat Remo Stars 1-0. So it's a familiar pattern. There are few surprises. The only surprise that came out of the whole weekend is Aqua United going to UB Stars to win 1-0.
Okay, Aqua United are actually here to play. But I think
that was on Thursday.
So that was on Thursday.
Yeah.
So that was on Thursday.
They're going to be playing today.
They're playing today.
Yeah.
They're playing today. But
so I think, or maybe having, if I actually have to end Heartland, having the 1-1 draw. Talking about
to me, as I said earlier, that was only drawn match. That was only drawn match, and it to me is a Southeastern derby, and you wouldn't expect much power between the two teams. And well, it's a good result for Ifeanyi Mba. But while other teams, they stuck to their home game and they won their games.
All right.
Which is a good one. Now, let's take a look at the table now, what's really happening there.
Let's start with Group A.
MFM, yeah, MFM just still tough. I remember when the coach actually talked about the fact that, look, this season he's not expecting anything. He just want to remain in the NPFL. But from what we've seen of the table, with the fact that they've been able to just maintain this, after 7 matches, they've got 15 points. If they can continue like this, who knows? Might just be in the playoffs, which is really, which is not their target, but then they said if they can be on the continent,
which is their target, and they're not admitting it.
Admitting it. Okay, right.
The coach can tell you something else, but in his mind, actually, everybody wants to win.
He wasn't, coming because he felt most of his players had gone. They actually recruited, but then the recruits are not the top stars like likes of AFCON United had to practically get all the big players, and have them, under their belt now. But the other one, Katsina, you have Rivers United. Rivers, the position still not looking good. Lobby Stars actually dropping to the bottom of that group. Remo Stars, Niger Tornadoes, all of them dropping down. Then Group B, if I remember, of course, by virtue of the fact that they had to end Heartland unbeaten run at home, they are topping with 15 points after 8 matches. They played all the games. Academy Warriors second. They have Heartland, of course, third. They had to drop down. Canopilas, of course, also having a good run. But after 8 matches, 11 points, you would say that's a good one for our former champions of the NPFL. Go around, surprise and see where they are. Then you have some other teams, Gombe, Yobe Desert, Cardiff City, and Akwa United, all of them in that relegation zone.
Well, my take on the whole thing is that MFM, I'm surprised where they are today. Okay. It's not a tea party. After 7 matches, 15 points. It's done good for themselves. Despite
but it's a marathon.
Despite the loss of players. You get me? Even at this stage, if you can have 15 points, to me, they'll still do good at the end of the season. But the only problem is that to keep up the momentum, as Randy said, it might be difficult because if you check out Lobby Stars, Lobby Stars only play 3 matches. They have MFM has played 7 matches. They have 4 matches left. So things might change. But things will change. It will, but it has not changed.
But it will change.
It will change. But nevertheless, MFM has really done well. They've really done well. And Remo Stars are finding it difficult. They're finding it difficult. They lost at home to MFM. They went away. They lost again. They're finding it difficult. Though the league is for the elite sides. Do you understand? And Remo Stars, they were there before. They were relegated. They're back again. I thought they should have had their experience. They should have learned from when they came from the last time they were at the league. But I'm sorry,
they have not
learned. Do they still have time? Because sometimes I think these people listen to us. The other time we were here talking about Aqua United and they turn things around. But you think after 7 matches, I think they've played 6 or 7. You think there's still time they're going to play 22. You think they have time to turn things around?
The Nigerian league is a funny league in the sense that teams might go through run bad form, the pitcher patch, which normal teams experience. Unfortunately, I've seen a situation whereby MFM were in 3rd position in their first season. By the second season, Cecilia, they were fighting for relegation.
Fighting against
they were fighting against relegation. Though they survived, but with the skin of teeth. It was very difficult that season. I cannot rule it out. That is the unpredictability of the Nigerian league. Do you understand? But nevertheless, if after 7 points you are leading the table, the worst thing that can happen to you is to be at the mid-table. That's after 22. Yes, after 22. Okay. That's the worst thing that should happen to them.
Okay. That's MFM, right?
Yes, that's MFM.
Okay. All right. So I guess we'll leave it at that, and we'll see what happens. Trust us. We'll let you know what is happening with the teams. Now I'm going to resist to do what I wanted to do. So let's go to the English Premier League, show you the results before we talk about anything. Show you the results, but that will be after this break. After this break, I'm resisting the urge to say something I won't say. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll talk about the English Premier League. Don't forget.